Hey guys, welcome back to another F1 23 video. Apologies for not uploading much in the last little while, especially this game. It's been, I think, what, 2-3 months since I last uploaded a Formula 1 video. But we're back. I've been a little bit distracted with some other games and other things that have been going on. But I'm really looking forward to getting back into this. In the last episode, we were in Abu Dhabi for the final race of the season. Pretty, I say, tough race. We had a really bad start coming in contact with, I think it was one of the Haas drivers, if I remember correctly, and we spun out. I think it was off like round 2 and 2, or just coming around 2 and 3, and that put us right to the back of the pack. So we had to fight our way back up. And we managed to get back to the points. We got P10, so we got 1 point, and we finished the driver's standings in P6. 2 points ahead of Lando Norris. So really good result for us in our very first season. The big one though, P5 in the constructors, finishing a number of points ahead of Aston Martin. If I remember correctly, we had already taken P5 by that point. I don't think even if Aston Martin got a P1 and a P2 with the fastest lap, it would have been enough points to get back in front of us. But really good performance in this first season. Really looking forward to season 2 and what we can do moving forward. Especially all that money that we're going to get thanks to the P5 Constructors title finish. That'll really help us build up some of those facilities, those departments, and aid with the R&D moving forward. George Russell claiming the Drivers' Championship for Season 1. Mercedes cleaning up in the Constructors, taking it by a number of points, well ahead of the other teams there. I'm pretty sure Lewis Hamilton finished P3 in the Drivers, so really good performance by the both of them. But now it's looking ahead to Season 2. We're not going to renew Boschung's contract. We are looking at bringing on Tatiana Calderon, the Colombian driver. Young prospect, bringing her up into Formula 1. Send her the contract, and of course she takes it. We offered her a little bit more, just to try and get her over the line there. Few last minute things we can do. We had the Halo upgrade come through just in time, and we had enough points to save that one for next season. So a cheeky little R&D upgrade there right before the end of the season. And that is Season 1 over and done with. It's been a really good season, really positive season for us. Lots of money coming through thanks to our performance this season with the sponsors. And there we go. We ended up getting 1 win this season, 4 pole positions in our rookie year, 145 points, 6th place in the Drivers' Championship. Really good result there. The only change there that we quickly saw is I took the Mexican Grand Prix out. I just do not like that track. I'm not good at it, to be honest. It's not one of my favourites for that reason. Put in France, I love the French track. High speed track, it's great. We are rushing through a whole bunch of stuff here, upgrading facilities, putting new R&D stuff into place, just trying to rush through all the stuff. The videos moving forward probably going to be a little bit shorter. The longer videos, as much as I like putting in all the stuff so you can really see what's going on, it just takes a bit more time to edit, and it's just gets a bit hard for me to really keep consistent with it all. But yeah, so as you saw there, rush through a bunch of stuff, whole bunch of money thrown into departments, some R&D stuff going on, some facility upgrades. We've got a new driver in the team, car, race uniform, everything's staying the same. We're going to take what we did really well in Season 1 and just transfer it straight to Season 2. All we can do is move up from here. Looking to improve on our P5 in the constructors and our P6 in the drivers. I have changed, as I go off the track there on the very first very first track of the season. I've changed the qualifying from a full qualifying setup to a quick qualifying, so it's one 15-minute session. I was thinking about going for a one-off qualifying format, but I do still like to have at least a couple of goes around the track to really get a feel for how the car's performing outside of practice. So we end up with fastest lap by this point in qualifying, but then it ends up only being good enough for P11. So a bit off the pace compared to where I thought we would be. Ferrari cleaning up P1 and P2, and only a few tenths, a few hundredths, I should say, separating Charles Leclerc from Carlos Sainz. So great performance from them. Lando's up there in P3. And of course, you've got George Russell and Lewis Hamilton. It's a Ferrari, McLaren, and Mercedes top of the grid. Verstappen's way back down in P7. He finished P2 in the drivers last year, so pretty rough start from him. As we jump straight into the race, like I said earlier, the videos are going to be cut back, slightly shortened compared to what I usually do for these. Just want to shorten them up, just so it's a bit more, I guess, I say streamlined. Just so there's not so much fluffing around, and it just it helps me too with the editing and making things more consistent. But we're already up into P6. We start off in P11, a really good run around the outside of turn 1. Oh, a bit of contact with the back of Hamilton's car there. It looks like everyone's running the softs for this first stint. We're running the mediums in the hopes that we can keep some good track position, which we have for the most part. 3 laps gone by already. I did say these videos were going to go a bit quicker, but not much happened from that point. We've now got a yellow flag, got a caution. I'm not sure what's going on here, but we are P6, still P6. The front runners are pulling away from us. Hamilton's now 3.5 seconds ahead. We've got a red flag in our very first race of the season. Not sure what happened there. We'll take a look back. So it's George Russell on board with the current drivers' champion, and he has an engine failure in his first race. 3 laps into the race, goes to pull off the track. So he goes to pull off the track and then decides against it and drives straight into the side of, I do believe that was, I think that was, I'm not sure who that was actually, because Fernando retired at the end of last season. So straight inside one of the Aston Martins, and he also collided with one of the Red Bulls as Leclerc's going slow off the start, and that opens up a window for us to go straight through. Yellow flag is out. Russell's car is still on the track. The game hasn't taken him off the track. So we've restarted the race. Red flag, restarted the race, and straight away we have a safety car. And it's been what, 3 laps now? Lap 8, we're still on the safety car. Safety car is coming in this lap. So this makes things quite interesting. We've opted to go for the hards to get through to the end of the race in a one-stop. Everyone's gone for the mediums. And with this safety car, I don't know if that's going to benefit us or not. It's definitely helped out the medium runners make their tyres last longer. But has it done enough to get them to sort of maintain that tyre performance at the end of the race? It could be that they may need to make a late race stop, or they just risk it and try and go to the end on really worn down medium tyres, and then maybe we have the advantage at the end on the hards. But this red flag and yellow flag safety car debacle that's gone on has definitely affected us in our races. We are all over the road at the moment. We haven't been able to warm up these tyres with the safety car going around. So it's going to make things a little bit dicey for us. We are sitting in P3 at the moment. Sainz leading and Hamilton behind them in P2, but they are pulling away. And we are trying to defend against 2 very fast McLarens behind us. Lap 12, halfway through the race, even though we haven't really raced for much of it. But we are halfway through the very first race of this season. And we also are coming up on halfway through this very first video of season 2, so a pretty fitting time to mention that. Late on the brakes there. We end up getting overtaken there for a moment by Norris, who has a better line, but we had that little bit more traction around the outside. We're side by side, and Norris goes ahead. Makes the move stick that time. Using our battery now, trying to get back in front of him. It is hards versus mediums. Cross GT Racing versus McLaren. And once the battery is disabled, that McLaren gets back in front of us. Norris came across and clipped the front of our car front wing. Hopefully no major damage. Maybe some minor damage there, but hopefully we are okay. We managed to get back in front, stay in front. The car feels okay at this point, so we're going to keep going. We're not going to risk coming in to change the front wing. Just going to keep pushing on as we go defensive, heading to the inside. It is going to slow us down a bit, and the last thing we want to do is be going slow on a slower compound already. And it looks like there's a yellow flag behind us as we take a quick look at what was going on back there. So one of the Alfa Romeos, not sure who it was, just spins out on the track, loses grip, maybe hit that curb a little bit and got one of those front wheels off the ground, and it just sends the car into a spin. Luckily, nothing really coming of that. So no safety car. Piastri goes straight ahead on the DRS. We're not going to try and fight him there. Just let him go and see if maybe he can't tow us along here. Hamilton in P2 is now 10.5 seconds ahead of us. So Sainz and Hamilton are just pulling away. It's now a 2-horse race here between Ferrari and Mercedes. And we're trying to battle it out back here for P3. And I think that battle's pretty much come to an end as we mess up that exit out of the corner after the DRS straight. Piastri now has a pretty good gap ahead of us. More than a second ahead, so he's going to be out of DRS range for the next straight. Norris now looking to make moves on us. I think turn 9. I think it's turn 9. Always have issues with that one. Trying to brake when you need to turn and you're going downhill into that really tight sort of hairpin corner. Not fun at all. Lap 18, almost at the end of the race. Piastri's only a second half ahead of us, so we are maintaining some decent pace. Hamilton, on the other hand, is pulling away. He's now 12.5 seconds ahead, so he's gained 2 seconds. So Mercedes and Ferrari just on another planet to the rest of us right now. Or at least those two are. George Russell's out. Leclerc is back in P6. So, but he's probably getting held up a bit by Norris, who's being held up in turn by us. But we want that. We want to hold up Norris because we want to keep P4. We want to have a really good finish here. This race, pretty rough move into that hairpin corner by us. Norris tries to get around the inside. We managed to stay ahead of him there. He just couldn't get on the power early enough, and we managed to hold on there. We've only got two and a half laps roughly left in this race, and we just want to hold on to this position and get a really good finish to our first race. The podium would have been great, but Piastri's now 3 seconds ahead. Track limits warning there for us. Our very first warning of the race, so not too worried about that. I did keep the foot down, knowing that I was going to be going over track limits, but I just needed to stay ahead of Norris enough to have a good gap between us and him for this straight, because he's going to have DRS, and I don't have a whole lot of battery left, so I need every advantage I can get. And thankfully we have enough of a gap to stay ahead heading into turn 1. Leclerc is gaining. He's pulled right up into that gap. He's now less than a second behind us. And Norris goes around the outside. We go defensive. Lose the front of the car a little bit there. Car sort of kicks back over to the side, and we've ended up slowing down Norris, and in turn Leclerc has pulled a move on Norris and got ahead of him. And so now we're battling against Ferrari. Norris is still there. Really bad run into turn 2 there. And that is not going to help. Leclerc is closing in, and Leclerc has gone from P6 a couple of laps ago to P4, which is great for Ferrari because now they've got to drive a P1 and P4 at this point. And Sainz has been leading this race pretty much ever since that red flag restart. So unless Hamilton can make a move here, it's going to be pretty happy days for Ferrari. We're still hanging in there with Leclerc, but we just can't get around that hairpin corner and he gets away from us. We've got DRS, but he's too far ahead now. Gasly's now past Norris as well. Norris not having a good time of it back there. He's dropped quite a few places. As we come around the final corner, Carlos Sainz takes the win here in the very first race of Season 2. Really good performance by him, by both Ferrari drivers to be fair. But we had a really good drive too. P5 for us. Really good race for us. Taking the hard tyres. I still think the hard tyre would have been the right call had we not had to deal with that safety car right off the start of the after that red flag. So I'm not too upset by the result in this race. P5 is still really good. Still plenty of points. Good race for us. Just that red flag really sort of messed us up. Everyone else on the mediums, us on the hards. But we'll take it. We'll take the 10 points that we get with P5. There's Carlos Sainz. First win of the season for him. First win for Ferrari. Not a Red Bull in sight. I don't know where Max ended up. But it's a Ferrari, Mercedes and McLaren podium, which you probably wouldn't see much of in real life at this point, to be fair. Let's just take a look. Max finishing P10. He did start P13, but I looked on it. Sorry, that was Lance Stroll. I looked at the wrong one. So he started P7. He finished P10, so he does get 1 point, but definitely not where he wants to be at the start of the season. Carlos Sainz not only taking the win, but the fastest lap as well. So there's an extra point for him. P5 for us. Obviously, driver standings, it's exactly as it is in the finishing order for this race. Constructor standings, we're P4 in the Constructors. Mercedes ahead of us after George Russell's DNF. McLaren ahead. Both Norris and Oscar Piastri getting points, but Ferrari claiming 38 points this race with a P1 and a P4. It's a great result for them. A great result for us too. Take away the positive. We're not looking to win the championships this year, but we are looking to improve on our P5 constructors standing for last year, and even our P6 drivers as well. We could get higher than that. We could get top 3. I believe we could get top 3 this season in the drivers after the performance we had last season, I should say. And we got a win last season too, so maybe we could get some more than one this year. Maybe there's multiple wins on the cards for us this season. Who knows? Be interesting to see how things go. But that brings us to the end of the very first weekend in Season 2. The very first race weekend for us. Season 2, F1 23. Short qualifying setup for race weekends. The videos are going to be slightly shorter than they normally are. Going to kind of do a highlights package, I suppose, of the race. More focus on just highlights, not so much all the racing. Focusing a lot on progression of the team and the drivers and kind of our story as opposed to the actual action of the race. The race will still be there, obviously, but dialed back a little bit. I have got the sprint race format still on for this season. I forgot to take it off when I was resetting for Season 2. As we take a look at George Russell's car, still just sitting there on the track, wasn't removed, which led to that safety car. But yeah, the sprint race format is still in the season. I'm probably just going to simulate the sprint races though, which will make for an interesting, I guess, race lineup for us on those weekends, seeing as your finishing position in the sprint determines your start position in the full race. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I kind of wanted to take the sprint races out and I just forgot to do it. So I'll be skipping those or simulating them, so the numbers might not line up on some of those races, but still make the game just as fun to play, and hopefully the video is just as fun to watch. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, let me know in the comments what you thought, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hopefully I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thanks for watching.